Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our weekly guided meditation, Wednesday night. Opportunity once again to develop spiritual practice, the way of peace, the way of calm, understanding. Many things can be developed. And for our resident community here, this is also an evening of entering our annual 3-month winter retreat. So from now, the plan is to continue in retreat until March 31st. Of course, we'll see what happens. Things can sometimes happen that force change, as we've seen in the last 2 years. So we'll see what happens. But we enter this evening and the retreat with the intention to for the next 3 months to lean more towards simplification, non-complexity, quietude, inner reflection. There's a whole one could create a long list of wholesome things to lean towards. And during this period, the monastic community will also be given opportunities for solitary retreat periods. So there'll be more engagement, group practice this week, starting tomorrow morning for 1 week. And then, as I say, there'll be more opportunity for solitude. And as if I could put in a bit of a plug, we intend to continue live streaming throughout the winter retreat. Every Wednesday is the plan, also on the full and new moons. So keep an eye on our website. But then also during this week of group practice, beginning tomorrow morning, the intention is to stream at every morning at 8:30 a.m. UK time. And Lumpur Suchito has generously accepted an invitation to offer teachings for these 7 days. And so if you have the opportunity to dial in with that, or if you miss it, it'll obviously be on YouTube. It'll remain on the channel. So maybe it's a way of maybe participating in our retreat in some way. So I'm sort of mentioning this in more detail because retreat can mean lots of different things. I'll ask questions. Do we need to live in a monastery to deepen our practice? Do we need to be in a monastery or a retreat center to be able to step back, to simplify, to lean towards non-complexity? And we can all come up with a different answer. So I'm not trying to force an answer in there. I'm just asking the question. So I know one of my teachers at the end of formal retreats, retreats for especially for members of the broader community, the lay community, would often refer to on the last day to the retreat is in our heart. The retreat goes with us. It's not just those 10 days or 5 days. And also referred to as the portable retreat. once we've established ourselves in more experience with meditation and spiritual practice, is that it goes with us wherever we go. Now that's not ignoring special opportunities. And so this evening also we have a special opportunity, whether we're watching on YouTube or whether we're sitting here in this room, we have a special opportunity to dedicate the next hour or so to putting things down, simplifying, leaning towards peace. So I'll offer some guided meditations. This is what this is meant to be, so I'll offer some practical guidance. There are so many different ways that we can practice meditation, so this is not meant to change anybody's practice. It's just offering it as one possibility. And if you already have an established practice, I don't like to use the word technique, but if you have a technique that does work for you, of course, just we do that, because the most important thing is the leaning towards peace, and what's the result of what we do. So I'll just offer these in that spirit. Whether we're sitting in a chair, on a bench, on the floor, cushions, no cushions. Maybe maybe sitting is not a posture that we can maintain for very long, so maybe we're standing, or maybe also we have limited mobility at the moment, maybe we're lying down. But these are all postures suitable for meditation. The Buddha spoke about the four postures: standing, sitting, walking, and lying down. So I didn't mention walking until now, but that's also, we won't be doing that this evening. But we could be in any of the other three postures. So encouraging whatever posture we're using, and if we are seated, whatever we're sitting on, let's just take a few moments to establish a posture that can be sustained, if possible, with relative stillness, to be sustained for longer periods of time, without using more muscular energy than is necessary. So just find that upright yet relaxed posture. Try and imagine your ear canal, your shoulder, center of the shoulder socket, and the hip socket all in line, if you were looking at your body from the side. This is only something that we can imagine because we can't see, but try and imagine those 3 points and then all the different curves of the body that occur between those points. That's natural. We don't try and straighten out the spine. It's not meant to be like that. Perhaps take a few seconds to just release the neck a little bit, maybe move the head gently, release any tension that might have built up already. Check for any other muscular tension, and the way I encourage us to do that is to start at the top of the head. This is a very common practice, referred to frequently as body sweeping. Slowly sweep down across the head, face, neck, through the body, all the limbs. Just slowly move our attention gently across the body and check if we're holding, gripping anywhere, and release. We are just using whatever energy it takes to be maintaining the posture that we're in, and no more. I've heard this referred to as a relaxed attention, which I find quite an interesting combination of words. So the body is attentive, yet relaxed. Is our breathing process relaxed? Or are we gripping anywhere in the rib cage or the solar plexus, abdomen? Let's tune in to the gentle movement of the body, the torso in particular, as we breathe. And for myself, I tend to rest my attention in the abdomen. For this type of meditation, it's where I feel most comfortable, noticing the breath enter and exit the body. But that's just what suits me. It could be anywhere. Anywhere where you feel at ease, recognizing the movement of the breath. And choose what's suitable for you, and use that as your place to rest your attention, your mindfulness. And we'll continue along like this for the next few minutes. And always remember that if you notice, or when you notice your mind pulled away to some other thing or thought, emotion, distraction, As soon as you notice that it's pulled away from the breath, just very gently return to the breath. By having an object for our awareness to rest on, such as the breath that we're using now. It's a function of the body. Oftentimes we don't really notice unless we're challenged in some way. Maybe we having breathing difficulty, either from exercising, or maybe we're having some sort of longer term condition, which is quite common. But otherwise we don't necessarily pay much attention to breathing. So it's so normal and uncharged perception. Ordinary. And so using it as an object for our attention can have a calming, sometimes it can have a very calming effect, sometimes not. But it gives us a place to always return to. And that can be said for whatever object of meditation we're using. But in this case we're using the breath, noticing the movement of the body, the movement of the breath. And by having a region of the body to place our attention, this gives us this wonderful opportunity to notice when the mind has moved. The mind, if our attention moves elsewhere. And this is so natural for this to happen. So I always encourage all of us to not be disheartened in any way if the mind wanders. There is so much information available for us now to fill the mind. So many things pull us in this direction and that. It's very normal for the mind to move. But we're giving ourselves this opportunity of putting a little bit of a circuit breaker on that. Intentionally, gently placing our attention on something so simple, so ordinary as the breath. So when we do notice the mind, when we do notice that the mind has moved, to not see that as a problem, but see that as this lovely opportunity to simply notice these energies and to let it go, to not make a problem out of it. We let the thoughts arise, linger, and cease. We let the emotions arise, linger, and cease. Bodily sensations, sounds, whatever. Just let them move at their own speed, and we're just gently returning to the breath. So I'll go into silence for a few minutes, and we'll practice like this. sometimes the mind can wander quite far from our meditation object. Go off on a long wandering trip, side trip. But as soon as we notice, right there, just gently bring it back to the breath. Because if we notice, that's all it takes, is that moment of realization, of waking up to the fact that we've wandered. It doesn't take much at all just to return to center. And let go whatever story or distraction that had arisen. Just gently leave it be. And we can notice how quickly things disappear. And yes, they do often return. That's also natural. And letting go doesn't mean non-return or even non-presence. Something can still be hovering around our consciousness, but we can hold it just that little bit more lightly. Loosen our grip on things that are coming up in consciousness, especially the stronger things. Just hold them lightly. So this is training the heart, training the mind. So that we can coexist with mind states, heart states. Because meditation is not about sterilizing our experience, sterilizing our heart. It's about understanding and giving space, acceptance. And then we don't need to control life. We don't need to control our experiences, our circumstances, our situations that we find ourselves in. We don't need to over or hyper control things just to get them the way that we want them. But we can coexist with the wanted and the unwanted. But this is a huge step to notice where the heart and mind are, and this is one aspect of these practices. Here again, of seeing the movement of the heart, seeing the movement of the mind, noticing. Back into silence again, and practicing like this. resting our attention on the breath. This is not a practice of trying to suppress or repress thoughts and feelings. It's, in some ways, I look at it as being the opposite. Maybe not quite the opposite. We're not searching for thoughts and feelings, but we're allowing. If they arise, there they are. Not trying to, as I said earlier, sterilize our experience. And we can do that. And maybe even feel that we're better off for it. But from my own experience, that's a very fragile and conditional sense of well-being. And far more temporary in the way I experienced it. And my understanding of the Buddha's encouragement and what he was pointing to was this unconditional well-being. Sense of well-being not based on any conditions. So whether we're healthy or maybe feeling poorly, whether we're energized or drowsy, whether our mind is perhaps more quiet or agitated. Same with the heart, whether we're experiencing joy or turmoil. We can not lose our sense of overall well-being. Because if followed through to the end, as the Buddha taught, we are no longer basing our happiness and well-being on these ephemeral qualities that we want. That's not stable. It doesn't mean we give up on trying to create good conditions around us, and choose wholesome people to be around, choose livelihood which is not harming other living beings or ourselves, acting in wholesome, upright ways. Yes, we put in those efforts, but we can only control our experience of life to a certain degree. There's so many different things that can happen. Encounters with people, situations, natural disasters, pandemics, things that are out of our control, basically. So we're developing a heart and mind that can receive and experience whatever comes our way. And feels it, feels discomfort. Yeah, you feel it. But also joy, you feel joy. So be really in tune and conscious of the results of experience. Not blanking out our minds, not trying to get into some sort of trance through meditation or get spaced out. No, if we get anything, get clear mind, clear knowing, clear awareness. Awareness of what's present, what's moving, everything arising, moving, ceasing, slowly, quickly, somewhere in between. Let it go, let it move. as we end our meditation, this session, just encourage all of us to give ourselves the gift of practice like this. Whatever meditation we do. This was just one meditation I've offered. But to give ourselves that gift of taking the time to practice, to stop, take a look what's inside our hearts and minds. And to not feel that if our lives are full, that we have to sit down or stand or walk meditation for an hour. To not set such a high bar or standard. Even just a few minutes stopping, checking in with the heart, checking in with the mind. These can be very beneficial. And of course, if we have the time and space and situation to practice longer, of course, this is a good opportunity. I'll close the meditation by wishing everyone well. As we've recently entered the new year by the Western calendar,